Welcome back, and I'm using this one I want to go over some things. So, I know I'm probably going to be posting a little bit less. I am working on projects, and the Octoling experiment story comes in chapters, which I've been working on. Now, this series is nowhere near completion, because I still have, originally told I planned probably 3 more chapters after this one, but I have not decided for this. So it could be longer, I'm not sure. I've just been focusing on a project that I want to get you out to y'all when I reach 500 as a special type of video series. It's an audio series I'm working on. So when we reach 500, you get the thumbnail, and probably within a few days, you get episode 1. It's an audio story me and my friend have been working on. And I'm probably going to stop doing the chapters for the Octoling experiment story for a time. Like this, I am coming back. It's just I'm going to be stopped doing this. I may focus more on the Marina story that I'm going to get started. And the Barrel War has a few more parts left in it before the series ends. The Barrel War seems to be a big thing between my subscribers. But unfortunately, that series will be coming to an end in probably a few more parts. It's a big series on my channel. I love it. Mostly the only people that watch it are my subscribers, main subscribers. But still, I wanted to let y'all know, at tops, you maybe have 3 or 4 more parts of the series before it ends, depending on how the plot I have all done. And the Marina one, just to let you know, the story is a quarter of the way through. The scene changes are... Just know I've got scene changes for episode 1 and probably episode 2 of the series already set up for... this was also recommended by Error, that series. It'll be coming out later, probably in a week or so. I may drop the first episode. Or the trailer. Most likely the trailer. Y'all seem to love when, I do these stories. Y'all love my what ifs more, but I want to get to my roots of storytelling. Right now, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna go back to the just to change the number here. This is episode 4, or chapter 4 of the Octoling experiment series. I don't know how many more chapters this series has. I'm kind of on a people would say writer's block on this series, because I managed to finish the making this part or having this one set up. I just have a writer's block. So chapter 5 may not be coming out until a later date. It takes a while for me to get over. The whole reason y'all didn't get chapter 3 sooner was because I had a writer's block on what I was going to do. So I do apologize if some of these videos take longer to actually make, because when you have writer's block, it really prevents you from making stuff. It throws me entirely off my process. The whole reason I didn't post the other day is I was too busy focusing on trying to get the next chapter of this out. And then I just couldn't. I didn't have time to make a video for that day. It's good to see Error at Brocco Miller. Good to see y'all in the chat. Just to let you know, if y'all want to suggest names for characters for the series that's going to become... Thumbnail will be dropping when I reach 500. Y'all can. Right now, I only have 5 named characters in the entire series, in the process of making it. That series is absolutely my main project, and I think you're going to love it, even though it's going to be an audio and not a scene change. And the reason I say it's going to be an audio is because it will be pretty much impossible for me to make the scenes I would want to make for this type of story. Yes, I still plan to do one of Murder Drones. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream of the Murder Drone series tomorrow. Because I've been wanting to live stream that. I originally planned to do that earlier, on the same day I did Fallout live stream. But something popped up and I had to reschedule the live stream due to some technical difficulties on my part, being with the background and all that. It being like I forgot to do something and I had to go do that. It was more important. Also, for some of these series and some of these plots, for the Marina one, I actually have this to where I think you're gonna like it, because I still have to finish with one in particular, and for a few more scenes before I make the first episode of the Marina series, because I still need a few more scenes made before the official drop. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably do that one in the middle of the day, probably. Not sure. I think I will be doing the stream time, maybe middle of the day. Possibly 1 or maybe the same time around here. I can't give you an exact time, but do come look at my channel. I'll probably have it scheduled on my channel tomorrow morning or afternoon of the time I will be doing that. So if you're wondering, just come back and check my channel a few times tomorrow to see if I have the time set up. You'll be able to see if you just check the channel and go to live streams. It'll show what's coming up. Again, I haven't come up with the exact time, because I may end up pushing it off until later, until like maybe the same time as now, to work on the King Sombra series, What If Deku, and the What If Female Deku was Mangle. If y'all watch that one, I have the What If Female Deku was Mangle comeback, and I think it's really good. And Brocco Miller, you were added to the Barrel War, and I could hear in the chat you were excited. This next part of the Barrel War that has been delayed, because originally it would drop tomorrow, but due to some difficulties on my part, it probably won't be released until maybe the beginning of next week. But you have a very specific role, because we'll be focusing on two sides again: Captain Inkwell and me and Howling Melody trying to escape. And possibly a third party being Jack O'Bonney, because he just vanished, and he vanished for a certain purpose. I'll say that. I do want to say you may see a little bit less videos from me, which I do apologize. When it comes for me having a writer's block, it really puts a bit of stress on the brain. So if you don't see a few videos out from me, I apologize. It's just I'm trying to get over all the stress from doing I guess so many projects at once, which I don't know, I guess it's catching up to me. But it should only be for a day or two, so I probably only miss like dropping a video a day or two. So I do apologize for that, and we'll get right on into the stream here in a moment. Alright. Do any of y'all have any questions before I start the stream of the story, which should last probably 10-20 minutes, maybe 30, depending on how in depth I'm going in here. Don't be stressed too. It's just some of the finer details. When it comes to story making and all that, what's stressing me out is it's just doing more than one thing. So I'm going to relax and I'm going to slow my pace a little bit. Anyway, I say we get started right into the start of Chapter 4, which I did not name the rest of it. I will name it. I will tell you the name of it now. A Star Wars game. Alright, I'll have to check that out. Anyway, it's time to get into this. Let's get started. I do plan to do a Left Deku Murder Drone series after the stream, which means probably after a few what ifs or something, I'll have it prepared. But it would be interesting, Deku being a murder drone. I may do something with him being created by the Hisakai, as I've never done that with them. It'll be a new experience, messing around with him being part of the Hisakai, which is the Yakuza. Anyway, let's get into this. No more just Octoling Experiment Story, Chapter 4, Retrieval. We go to Zack, Gear, and Sarah, who are currently on the road, and of course, Green Kenobi stayed behind to help their escape. They know nothing of what he did to delay Tracker and the red-haired Octoling. I hope Green Kenobi's alright. Hey, don't worry. From what I heard, he was the best thief or something around here? Actually, he was a very skilled person. He did a lot of odd jobs. He was pretty much like a paid, hired hand to take stuff. He was actually a helper and a very close friend to Captain Inkwell, the person that's sending people to pick us up. Wait, Captain Inkwell's coming to pick us up? Not himself, but like one of his men. Oh. But how does he know Captain Inkwell? I'm not entirely sure about that. I only know him because I went to report to him after you got caught, and I didn't want to be a part of this anymore. These experiments. The Octoling army's gone out of hand. They're mutating on their own people. I just can't stand it. They turned you into a sanitized Octoling, and they turned you into a cyborg. Yeah. Still getting used to this robotic arm, though. As she starts moving her arm. Well, don't worry. You should get used to it in time. But I'm kind of worried. You said you could only get 4 serums, right? Unfortunately, so. That means he doesn't have long. The processor or the side effects may take control of him. Let's hope that's not the case. Maybe when he regroups with us, Captain Inkwell has a solution. Yes, hopefully he does. As they keep moving along the forest, but I do wonder, what was the Octo Doctor's primary curiosity of that certain experiment? He spent so much research on it. Well, I did some digging after you got captured. Apparently, it's not the Doctor's actual work. It was actually a project of some other Octoling experiment Doctor's work, known as the psychopathic Octoling doctor? He was trying to make a serum to make these creatures monsters. The Octo Doctor was just simply changing it to modify it in a better way to lessen the side effects. What the original type did was absolutely worse than the type that was injected to Green Kenobi. So you're saying the only reason he survived is because they didn't use the full intoxicated version of the original? That's what I'm thinking. And the fact he was even survived the dwindled down version was impressive, as no one else had survived, really. I admit that was impressive. Maybe it has something to do with his DNA? I did know him a while. Yeah, that's right, you knew Green Kenobi, didn't you? Yes, I had met him a while back. I didn't know you two had history. Well, we knew each other's families before he was on the street and all that. His parents were actually high officers in the Octoling army. Really? Yeah, but suddenly they just disappeared. Green Kenobi vanished shortly after. I wonder what happened. Maybe the Octoling army did something, or they were disobeying orders. Maybe they were terminated. I doubt a family like you're suggesting, if they're close to your family, they probably wouldn't have been terminated like that. You're right. They only just vanished, so I'm guessing something else happened. Possibly. But we cannot blame this on a coincidence. Let's prepare. We should be reaching the evac point I was given. As he pulls out a map. Where to? As Gear just comes and grabs the map. You have this turn sideways. As she fixes it, this way. As they keep following along the road. Well, thank you. No problem. After all, we need to get to that evac point as quickly as possible. Yeah, I really wish Green Kenobi could be here, though. To be honest, we'd probably been caught up by now if it wasn't for him. You're right. The chances of us being caught by now, if he didn't stay behind, would have been increased to over 80%. What's the current chance of us being caught right now? Thanks to him staying behind, 40%. We got 60% chance of not being captured. That's better than anything. Guess Green Kenobi is looking out for us. But in case they are still chasing Green Kenobi, and he's taking them in a different direction, that lowers the numbers even more, which increases our chances of escape. What are you saying? Green Kenobi is being the decoy? That is what I think his plan was. Wait, Green Kenobi is diverting the Octoling army's force? Yes. And the chances of them most likely going after him than us are greater, since he holds the intel of the creature the Octo Doctor is looking for. Fair point. But what's the chances? 90% of us getting away. He really planned this out, didn't he? As Zack hits a tree with his fist. He planned to just take them all and follow him while we got away from the start. Even though I gave him opportunity to escape. What's the chance of him escaping from the Octoling army right now? I cannot calculate. I do not know his situation or how far they are on his tail. So I cannot calculate the numbers. Let's just hope he gets away in time. Yes, that's the only thing we can do. Anyway, I think the evac point is right up there, as she points. As they see a field. Is that a field? As then they see a helicopter flying in. As Alice, I believe. Yes. Alice, I believe. Yes. Hops out of the helicopter. As she sees them down the road. as she waves. Oh, it's Alice. As Gear runs over. Alice, it's been a while. Yes, it's been a while, Gear. What happened to you? I got caught. They, kinda did some modifications onto my body. These two your friends? Yes, this is Zach, and this is Sarah, another person that was experimented. Okay, where's Green Kenobi? We were told to pick him up too. He's not with us. He stayed behind to distract them. Captain Inkwell's not gonna like this. Anyway, let's get on board. We'll need to head to headquarters. Wait, can you give us a report on how Green Kenobi's doing? Do you know where he is? No. Currently, none of our forces have been deployed out any further. We're the only team that was sent out secretly to pick up y'all. We have no means of monitoring or knowing the whereabouts of Green Kenobi at this time. We're currently too busy dealing with an attack by the Octo Army on one of our main sides, so most of our forces have been diverted over there for the time being. Well, I guess we'll have to come back for him, eventually. Well, it has to be within the month. The serums won't last him long. You're right. What serums? He was injected with Serum X. Serum X? What is that? A serum that was meant to boost soldiers, but no one had survived the process. Oh, a very deadly serum. Wait, is that the serum that Green Kenobi had researched about? Wait, Green Kenobi had researched this? Yes, actually. He had said he told Captain Inkwell about a certain serum. He said that he didn't know much about it. He had only heard details he had gotten from documents he had found. Wait, why was he feigning ignorance if he already knew the side effects? As now Gear, Sarah, and Zach are now all confused. Green Kenobi knew about Serum X from the beginning? How? This raises more questions. Well, he'll have to answer this when he gets back. Don't worry, we'll have a team searching for him. First thing when we get back. You need to find him before the Sanitized Army does. Or the Octoling Army does. Of course. I'll send a team myself. Alright, let's go. As they all hop on board and start flying back. We go to Green Kenobi, who's in the forest. Currently has the one syringe of Serum X in his pocket. I gotta go. Gotta get out of here, as far away from here as possible. He's trying to make a quick getaway. Why do they have to be so good at their job? As a few Octoling soldiers are behind him. He quickly evades and goes to hiding in some bushes. If Tracker was with them, they would have a much easier time. As some of the soldiers passing by, as one of them goes over to the bush where he's hiding at, Green Kenobi quickly gets out and holds the Octoling soldier and knocking him out from lack of oxygen. He set his unconscious body in a bush and covering up with leaves so they won't find him so quickly. Then he starts moving even more towards an abandoned area. Green Kenobi suddenly trips and falls into a little river. He looks behind him and he sees an open sewer valve. Or sewer entrance. Well, I guess that's gonna have to do. I've got no time. He quickly goes into the sewer entrance. I'm gonna have to say as far as away. I really hope they don't catch up with me so quickly. I hope the others got out. As he just runs into the sewer pipes. We go to Tracker and his companion. Yes, you're awake. What is it? We are so close to finding Green Kenobi. He's in this direction. What? Yes. I had finally caught on to his footprints. He's currently heading to this area somewhere in this direction. As they had recovered from the injuries and all that sustained from the explosion, the fire. Although he's going to pay for setting off that explosion that took out quite a few soldiers and even rendered you unconscious. What? All because a tree fell on me? Honestly, a tree whacked you on the head. How are you still alive? I don't know. That doesn't matter. Let's keep going. As they're moving towards another they're moving towards the same direction as Green Kenobi was. They come across some trees. Fresh footprints. He's around here somewhere. As he then moves towards a bush, and then quickly unveils the leaves to find one of his soldiers. It's one of our men. He checks his pulse. He's alive. Get a team over here to pick him up, as one of the soldiers with them says, "Yes, sir." As then he leaves. Such a pain to deal with. So many nuisances and so many problems. He's slippery, I'll give him that. He did evade the Octoling army for a long time. That's true. We now know he's part of that family that escaped. Well, at least he did. The whereabouts of his parents are still unknown to us. That's true. Well, anyway. We need to bring him back alive. Orders from the top. Seriously? Yeah. Apparently, some of the higher-ups want him back alive, saying he knows valuable intel. Valuable, you say? How valuable are we talking about? I don't know, but the Octo Doctor and higher command officers are very interested in his knowledge. Apparently, he's not just your typical thug, person that was just stealing for information. He knew what he was doing. It's like he had a feeling or instinct. Instinct? Yeah. The man wouldn't have survived this long without evading arrest for a while. So he knew what he was doing. Well, anyway, let's just go take him out. Let's bring him in. As they continue following the tracks until they arrive around the sewer area where they end. As they're at above, his traps end here. As they're looking around the area, hey, there's a sewer system over here. As Shark comes over, these are his footprints in the mud. He went into the sewers. We're gonna have to go in after him. Seriously? We're gonna have to go in the sewers? What? We need to go in there and retrieve him. We need him alive. The doctor's not taking him any other way. Or the higher-ups. He's too much valuable intel to let him roam free. Are you sure, sir? We could easily just bring him back to base. The thing is, he's been injected with Serum X. He'll most likely have more powerful strength. It increases the user's strength, speed, agility, and senses. Although the side effects come with a great cost. Let's hope he's weakened by the side effects and we can just easily grab him and go. You're right. After all, the side effects I hear are very painful. Right. If he doesn't get another injection, he's going to be in deep trouble. Well, let's move out. As a few more Octoling soldiers had approached behind them. You ready, men? Yes, sir. Then let's move in. As they move in. As Green Kenobi, who has been running for quite a while, sits down. Why? As his head starts to hurt. As like an image comes in with a person with a syringe. Now, sir. You need this injection for your own safety. As then it just disappears. Who was that? That was not the Octo Doctor. Who was that man? Why is he having images of some strange doctor with a syringe? Sir. As he hears voices of people saying sir, command, and other things. But he's not hearing them through the tunnels. He's hearing them in his head. What are these things I'm hearing? The side effects shouldn't be affecting this fast. As he quickly grabs the syringe of the serum. As he stops. No, it's not that. My mind is trying to trick me. To use the last serum. That's what the side effects want. Trying to manipulate my mind to use it. So the side effects can take control. I must not falter. As he puts it away. I must use it only in the time I need. I have to deal with this problem myself for the meantime. But why am I so drained? I ejected myself with one earlier. A few hours ago. As he looks up at the entrance above, or the exit above, I guess things are way different now than they once were. As he closes his eyes and imagines his family. Green Kenobi, you must go. What is it? Listen, the Octoling army is not what they once used to be. You need to go. We have a friend that'll take care of you. As they have Green Kenobi go through a secret passage to exit wherever they had lived. Yes, I was going through an exit. And I met up with a man in a lab coat. And then everything just blank for me from there. Whatever did happen to my parents? I don't know. I barely remember anything else after that incident. Everything after the doctor, everything in between the time of the doctor and all that, I don't remember. What could have happened? I was told he was a friend of my parents. He gets up. I better to keep moving. I can't let them catch me. As he starts moving deeper into the into the sewer system. Yeesh. It's so dirty and filthy down here. What do you expect? It's a sewer. Yeah, but this thing hasn't been used in years. How is it so disgusting? Stuff stays, and it rots when it gets old. So of course it's gonna stink. We gotta get through here, though. It's our only clue to where Green Kenobi is. Fine. What about the soldiers? They're currently thawing out and searching the sewers from other directions. We should find him. Shouldn't be much longer. You're right. Well, anyway, I wonder sometimes, what's the doctor's actual motive? Huh? The Octo Doctor. What's his actual motive? Who knows? All I heard is that the commander hired him because of his special experimental skills. That and his knowledge of science. Yeah, but him mutating on other Octolings, don't you think it's a little bit wrong? I don't see the problem in it. He's treating the traitors. But they're still Octolings like us. That may be true, but they betray the Octo army. They deserve what they got to them. I don't know. Some of this seems a bit fishy. You'd go in against the commands of the commander? Of course not. I was just thinking some stupid stuff. Then let's go. It apparently seems that the other Octoling with a tracker has heard doubts on the Octoling army. Maybe she's starting to realize all the corrupt and evil they're doing. Or maybe she doesn't like the experiments, like Zack didn't like the experiments. Who knows? As then we go to Green Kenobi, who had just found an exit. Ugh. I managed to find the exit, finally. Oh, I'm so glad I managed to find the exit. Where am I? And he starts looking around. Oh, right. This is the place of the old abandoned city. What was the history behind this place again? Oh, that's right. As he pulls out his phone, or he pulls out an object from his pocket. It seems to be some sort of phone device. This is not gonna work. Because of course they did something to it. This may be how they're tracking me. He destroys it. I wish I could have at least researched it up, but it's too risky to use that thing now. They could track my position with it. I guess time will only tell if things are gonna get better for me. But I wonder, how long am I gonna survive without any more of those serums? If they're saying it's true, the side effects will eventually succumb to it. Don't think of that, Green Kenobi. I've got much better things to think of. And that's the moving on and survival. They're on to me. I'll have to navigate my way through this destroyed and abandoned city. I may set up a few traps for them. That's what I'll do. I'll set up a few traps. They're not gonna get me. After all, I don't plan on dying or succumbing to this experiment of theirs. Should I have told them I knew more about Serum X than I was letting on? But how did I know so much about Serum X in the first place? He's still trying to think back on the time he was left with this friend of his parents. I just can't remember. Anyway, I better get moving before they find me. As he moves into an alleyway and starts going further down, we go to the control room with Captain Inkwell, Alice, Sarah, Zack, and Gear, who have all gathered. I see all you have arrived. Where's Green Kenobi? Green Kenobi was not with them, sir. What? Apparently he got separated, allowing them to escape. We must send a team out for him at once. I've already assigned a task force to go look for him. Good. I assume you're Zack and you're Sarah? Yes. I remember talking to you a little while back. Yes. Aw, Gear, what have they done to you? They caught me. And of course, they also did their experiments. Just letting you know, we're going to try to enlist you into the civilian life, with the other Octolings and Inklings within the towns. Thank you, but we need to go find Green Kenobi first. You don't have to worry about that. I'll have a team go look for them straight away. He'll be back probably by the end of the week. And if he gets captured again, I'll make a rescue force to try to free him. Thank you. I hope this lifts up your concerns. Green Kenobi is a friend of mine, and Green Kenobi's friends are a friend of mine as well. How do you know Green Kenobi? Oh, you don't know this, but before I became commander of the defense force here against the Octoling army, my father, who was the previous head command force, knew his family, and they were the only reason we had relations between the Octoling army. I'm guessing that's why his family just vanished. Wait, Green Kenobi's family had connections with the Inkling side? Yes. In fact, the whole reason we didn't just go out in full conflict for several years was because of his family keeping a relationship between the Octoling army and the Inklings. Of course, every year it became harder and harder as people were pushing towards war and battle. Until when they finally just vanished, there was nothing to stop, and the Octoling army made their moves. What happened to his parents? What happened to them? I do not know. They just simply vanished, not leaving a trace. Green Kenobi shortly vanished there later, before resurfacing near one of my father's bases. I met him a while back, and we became pretty good friends. I remember we sat over and had a cup of tea together. Honestly, he does have some interesting stories. After all, he said his family knew the person that made Serum X. Wait, what? Yes, although he could never remember his name. Wait, he knew the person that made Serum X? His parents did, at least. That's what he told me. He said he doesn't know anything else, or that's what he said. How much did he know? Did he know he was going to survive the serum when injected? Who knows? Only the people with the knowledge of such things have a plan to probably contain. Maybe he had a countermeasure between Serum X and his DNA. Maybe he had done some research and tried to make a countermeasure towards it. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, thank you. Well, y'all get some rest. Y'all had a long journey. Y'all escaped. And escaping from the Octoling army is not easy. You're right. Anyway, y'all take a rest. Me and my men will take it from here. Thank you, Captain Inkwell. And we'll have you into a town in a few days for y'all to settle in. I appreciate your help, Captain Inkwell. No problem. As they leave, Alice. Yes, sir? I need you to move and find any research you can on the Octoling Army's experiments, as well as find Green Kenobi's location. I'm sending more than one team on the search for this. But sir, Green Kenobi has vital intel, and if he's been injected with Serum X, that makes things even worse. Have 3 teams prepared to leave by morning. Right away, sir. As all of them had left the room, as Captain Inkwell looks at a screen. Things are not turning out good, are they, Green Kenobi? Things are turning out way worse than you had thought. With the Octoling Army now having their own experiments in the front line, the fight's only gotten harder. And that's where I end Chapter 4 of the Octoling Experiment story. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. Okay, that was an absolutely amazing one. And this is the thumbnail for Chapter 4 when it drops. Hopefully y'all enjoyed Chapter 4. I know I did. Again, it's probably going to be some time before I get to making a Chapter 5. Because I'm at a standstill and a writer's block of how to do it. And I do apologize if y'all want to see this one more or out even sooner. Because coming up with the Octoling Experiment chapters are actually pretty hard. This one in particular was very difficult because I wanted to do more. I wanted to do like this one to be an hour long, but I knew I could not get to that. There's so many things I would need to do. In Chapter 5, when that one is released, I do have some plans for it, which I hope y'all will enjoy. as it's a very good series, I believe. Chapter 5 is basically going to be how do I put this? The trap that was set by Green Kenobi. I think that's the title of it. Anyway, thank you for coming out to this live stream. Thank you for watching. This chapter was amazing. And when this is released, it's the what? This is the Octoling Experiment, Chapter 4, Evac or Rescue? Well, anyway, thank you for coming out to this live stream. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. And the Marina story will be dropping shortly. The trailer will be dropping within maybe a week. So prepare for that as well. Because this story is going to be put on hold because of me having a writer's block with it, which I apologize.